Yesterday was crazy.
10 seconds in, and I'm not at all surprised by what I'm seeing right now. Hey guys, iSawBear here, and today I'll be talking about the update 0.10 for the game Foxhole. This update sees the full implementation of the One World experience, combining both world conquest and small-scale skirmishes. So let's jump right in. To complete our world conquest, we need our proper world itself. And finally, we have the northwesternmost map, Morin County. Morin County, much like the other northern maps, is a frozen wasteland, complete with frozen rivers, and yes, lots of trenches. With all this new territory to cover, Wardens and Colonials have updated their vehicle models for their trucks. Now, there are Warden-specific and Colonial-specific trucks in the game, though they act pretty much the same as they did before. So the One World experience brings players from all servers, all regions, and all time zones into the same world, instead of separating them by server. And then it gives them the choice of whether to participate in the large-scale, long-term world conquest, or small-scale, short-term skirmishes. So when you enter the game now, you'll be greeted with the option to join the war or browse events. Browsing events is only for specialized events, clan training or community wars, that kind of thing, while joining the war is the main game mode. Once you're in the game, you'll notice something different. Now, you spawn in the home region. From this home region, there are 3 new structures. The Monument, which is dedicated to your fallen soldiers and heroes of past wars. Then you've got the State of the War tent. Here you can check the map, looking at individual regions and seeing where your team is doing best and where your team might need some help. Then, on the other side, you've got the Travel tent. From here, you'll actually be able to bring your player character over to any World Conquest region that has a friendly town hall, or send him off to Skirmish on one of the islands. So let's break these game modes down. In Skirmish, both a small Warden and Colonial force will be fighting over one of the islands. For this update, Callahan's Passage has also been thrown in the mix, but this will be changed later down the road. Town halls have been replaced by the invulnerable port bases, and items, vehicles, and structures now have a fixed tech level in Skirmish. There is a 3-hour time limit to these skirmishes. The victory condition is whoever holds the town hall at the center of the map when the time limit is reached wins. And these victories will overall contribute to the success of your faction in the overall One World experience. Going over to the World Conquest, now with our 3x3 9-map grid system, players will be able to travel between the maps along the entire border. It's no longer just the roads. Any border crossings, paved or unpaved, will be crossable. Be warned, however, players that die in a region with no hometown must respawn at the home region. This alleviates some of the stress on defenders who during the tests had to stave off an indefinite amount of enemies who just kept respawning at the borders. For the attacker's benefit, however, a new, well, old, new structure has been implemented into the game, the campsite. Campsites act as short-term spawn points during incursions into a region. Much like any spawn point, they need to be stocked with soldier supplies, and when they run out, they'll be forced to spawn back at the home region. Additionally, these campsites can only be built near the border, so that means attackers crossing into a new region have to be prepared and have to plan out their attack properly. Field machine guns now require blueprints to be produced, whereas before people would just spam them at early stages of the war. And a lot of bugs from the tests have been fixed. Some balancing specific to World Conquest include garrison camp health has been increased by 10%, high explosive grenades and frag grenade explosive material requirement has been reduced by 50%, scrap nodes now yield 30 resources, and component nodes now also yield 30 resources. Explosive material stockpile assembly time has been reduced by 66%. Explosive material stockpile assembly quantity increased from 5 to 10, or 15 to 30 for trucks. Refined material stockpile assembly time has been reduced by 33%, and basic material stockpile assembly time has been reduced by 25%. The decay time for some structures have been increased between 10 and 30%. This is to make it so that defenses last longer and don't require nearly as much player repair to keep them maintained. Howitzers now require the CV to build, and howitzer basic material cost has increased from 100 to 150, making them a little less spammable.
Okay, I'll try.
And the last few changes are that most vehicles now have a roll physics, whereas before only the light utility vehicle and light tanks had them. Some new notifications will be found in the top left corner, such as join a squad or setting your spawn point. And wars will no longer end abruptly. Instead, an animated victory banner is now shown, and there's a post-victory countdown where players will be able to have some post-war celebrations, take screenshots with each other, and execute prisoners. Also note that most of the maps have seen some redesign, whether it be for certain structures, or in the case of Tempest Island, it's received an overall design update allowing for easier access to the Iris. There were some bug fixes along with this update, but I'll leave that for the patch notes down below.
Fair. That's what I think.
This isn't gonna make very good YouTube.
You don't know that.
This is a big step for Foxhole. Implementing the full One World update was a lot of behind-the-scenes working for the team. But this first phase will surely give us hours and hours of gameplay for the next couple of months, and it's only going to get bigger from here on out. If you like what you saw in this video, like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest Foxhole updates. And as always, good luck, keep your heads down, and stay in your foxholes. Bear,
No, thank you.
out.
They're on to me, bro. Damn it. Oh, well, I guess I'll be happy with like 4.